So we are inside the Chiang Mai courthouse right now. I just want to give a shout out to the gardening team. They really do make an effort to make going to court here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, a much more pleasant experience. The gardening in the parking lot and even the gardening here inside the courthouse.
À-bas-le-ciel.
Going to. Right, so here we are at the official board where they post the cases being heard for the day. They're under various categories. You can see there's a list of names and dates and what have you. Focus. And now if you flip up a few pages, there you go. My name and lights. Asa Mazard, Mr. Harley Johnstone. That's how you figure out which room your court case is in when you show up in a court case in Thailand. And that's it. All right, obviously I'm not allowed to film inside the courtroom during the proceedings, but you actually get a good sense that that's through the window. I can just... gives you a sense of what a courtroom is like in Chiang Mai. So we are now hanging out in front of the moderately beautiful Chiang Mai courthouse. Some monumental architecture. Here's my best girl Melissa, and these, again, just credit to the gardening staff. These are actually orchids. They're just not in bloom. So got some orchids on the tree right now. So I tried to make that a little bit more dramatic for you there, Melissa, the day in court, so that it wasn't entirely boring. Why don't you give the viewers your own assessment? If there's anything you're wildly, I don't think you'll be wildly inaccurate. If there's anything you're wrong about, you can just clarify what happened legally. But
yeah, so you were able to give a statement. I guess it wasn't technically a witness statement, though. Right. So you said, "I come here for justice." Gave a sort of this has affected my life.
Greco-Roman statement about the philosophical point of the court.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this guy called me a sexual predator and a pedophile.
Right.
And I was working as a teacher, teaching kids and university students in China. This has affected my life directly. This is, you pointed out, this is my girlfriend.
Right. So you were called in as a prop. Yeah. You were alluded to in court, at least. You stood up as a kind of indirect witness. Yeah.
Yeah. You said when we were first getting together that my brothers and my parents looked you up online and saw these accusations from Durianrider.
Yep.
And then also you said once I go to Canada, this will affect my ability to get a job in the future.
I would say that carries some weight in terms of Thai traditional culture.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of having to talk to your parents, especially if they're older brothers. The idea that your parents and brothers are scrutinizing me and think I'm a criminal because of this defamation.
Yeah.
So that was part one where I got to stand up in court and speak, right?
Yeah.
Well, and then what happened after? You may not have figured this out, but you notice the judges. There were two judges who've now been involved in this case for a year and a half, also.
Yeah.
So for Durianrider, he doesn't stand a chance to defend himself. I mean, the facts of the case are already proven in these hearings. But you know, the judges, they were reading into this peculiar microphone, right? And that was actually dictating the legal documents that were then being typed up by the. So I don't know if you noticed that because they, all right, it's an interesting setup in terms of actually issuing new paperwork.
Yeah, they were able to print out the paperwork right there because the typist was typing up what.
So that was the opinion of the court, so to speak, being dictated and written down the spot. But then I objected to that.
Right.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
I thought day in court wasn't eventful enough.
Right. So the typist printed out the proceedings from the courtroom that day. The judges signed it. The lawyer signed the paper. But once it got to you,
I objected.
Well, okay, your lawyer read it to you because it was in Thai. So your lawyer read it to you, and you said, "I refuse to sign this."
Yeah, right. So then I got to stand up and make another speech.
Yeah.
These are all
an injustice.
Right. These are all pretty brief statements for me, though, and they are being translated into Thai. But I think the judges, both of them actually understood English quite well, just from the look in their eye.
You said the last time I was here.
Yeah. He stated that I would be stabbed.
Yeah.
And, you know, so what I was doing there, I kind of switched tactics. Early on, their point was they were very apologetic. They themselves are a bit out to sea with these new procedures handed down by the Supreme Court. It's a new procedure. They're not proud of the way this case has gone, the judges and the other, lawyers in the courtroom. So they were being apologetic, and the main thing they were offering me early on is this document that we're going to get tomorrow, a special document that sort of, I get it basically declares that Durianrider is guilty. That's basically what the document does, because they haven't had a formal trial, but everything's on the table, and it declares that the you know, the allegations against me should not be believed. You know, the lies against me on the internet lies. So they're going to give me a paper of this kind, which is interesting. So I thank them for that. But then after the plot twist, what I was really playing for, I was wanting the official witness statement to be recorded now, and not to depend on me flying back here from Canada, maybe a year from now. Yeah. But I just say, I mean, I think you totally got that impression. Everyone in that room was taking the case really seriously. This is not a joke. This is a serious criminal case with a 2-year sentence at the end of it. The part that everyone has trouble taking seriously is the procedure to try to get confirmation from the government of Australia that, you know, that this is the correct Harley Johnstone, this is the correct address and that stuff. So that's the part nobody seems to be confident about, because they're new guidelines from the Thai government. And our lawyers said that it was other countries like America were forcing Thailand to do this. Whatever procedures they had before were not up to international standards, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous that they expect you to have Durianrider's passport.
Right. Like, how would you even have his address? If you're the victim of a crime in Thailand, how can justice ever work if you need someone's mailing address and their passport? And it's ridiculous. So I don't know, I think to some extent they're aware of how ridiculous that is, but I think they're also aware of some of the kind of miscarriages of justice that happened in the past, when I think people would just come here on vacation, then fly back to their own country and not even realize they'd been convicted of a serious crime. They didn't get informed, they didn't get a chance to defend themselves, that the court process produced. So, you know, Thailand is trying to strike a balance between some very important...
Yeah, I totally get why you refused to, because the court paperwork said, this, you know, we can't verify that this is the...
Right, that's right.
This is the address.
So. Right, so I was also objecting to that. I said no.
The court will reconvene next June.
Right, like, right. It's being talked about as if it's a normal...
I'm not going to be able to come back here.
So I did stand up and say this is a miscarriage of justice, and because this is all in simple English, I said this is an injustice. So I did stand there and say that to the judges, that I pleaded my case in that sense, that this is an injustice, and I can't participate in it. I can't sign this form. So then but this is the ultimate legal, I mean, this is the Kafkaesque reality of court. So then they issued another legal document that I could sign. So they issued a document saying that I object to the court proceedings, that it's taken too long, that I've had to fly back repeatedly at great expense. So they basically encapsulated my argument and, you know, were implicitly apologizing for it. And then I signed that. So they still got my signature, but not on the opinion of the court. So my objection to the opinion of the court is recorded for the annals of history here in Thailand. All right, so guys, that's what it is from the nicely manicured lawns in front of Chiang Mai Provincial Courthouse.
No photo.
Oh, Koto. You said
no photo.
Gotcha. Okay. So sorry. So this is my lawyer Somsak. This is my girlfriend Melissa. Nice to meet you. This is my other lawyer. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Okay. So I'm just going to ask you. So now it's been about 1.5 years. These proceedings, yeah.
And the strategy is like this. Once that we submit the case to the court, the law is changed. About whenever that we sue somebody from abroad, we have to submit the paper to them in their country.
Right. So I remember the last time we were here, the judge gave us a guideline from the Supreme Court. So that was actually a new guideline, is it? Okay.
No, yeah, that's the new guideline. We did it already.
Right.
We submit to the prosecutor who take care about to send the someone to abroad, to Australia. He did it, and actually, the report from Australia come back to Thailand to the prosecutor now. We know the internal together because they call us, and whatever reason that we cannot, we still cannot give the assignment to him, because he the name of him or the address of him we not have in it's not the proper one, let's say like that.
Okay, but now we do have his address, yeah? It is the correct. Oh no. Okay.
We still not have it because in abroad, the one that he gave it to us, it cannot confirm from anyone, let's say like that.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, but that is his house. I know that is his house from his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So this is his real address. Yeah. Because that is where he
no
lives.
one confirmed that it is the real address or right or wrong.
So with the government, they couldn't confirm.
Then they sent it back to the courtroom today.
Okay.
For us, try us to give them the passport of him.
Right.
It's a complicated also. We don't have his passport.
Of course not.
And yeah.
For no criminal, you would never have their passport.
Let's say that for today, I will talk to the judge that we ask the court order from now on to bring the case, to bring the letter to the immigration to see that whenever he came to Thailand and out, in and out, then we have the stamp and the name of that.
Right. He just came a few weeks ago. It was just maybe 2 weeks ago he came again. He comes
all the report. We come back to the court to show up.
So maybe the delay has been so much because this is a new system, a new guideline.
Yep.
Because this is it's just interesting.
It's the order from the Supreme Court.
Right. So this is interesting because the question I have is, if anyone commits a crime in Thailand, it seems to me it's impossible for a foreigner to go to court or to go to jail if this is the system.
The reason that they change that because of they worry about if you get sued from somebody in other country, you have to know that.
Yeah, I understand.
You can come to fight to protect yourself.
I understand.
That they did whatever reason. That's why we need to send it to him.
It's a good reason. I understand this. But if you think about it, in most cases, if someone, let's just say someone robs me, someone commits a normal crime in Thailand, how would I get their address and how would I get their passport, right? Normally, this will be impossible.
I understand.
So I think, I just say for Thailand in the future, maybe 90% of cases, if a foreigner commits a crime, there can be no justice, there can be no trial, right? So, because in this case we were lucky, it is only because of his girlfriend, one of his girlfriends, she also is angry at him. She gives me his address. I know this is the real address,
But anyway,
but today, normally if there's a crime,
maybe we have to postpone again. It depends on the court order or the judge order.
Right. So I think, from our perspective, I think this will be the end of the case because I've been here for almost a year and a half.
It never been the end until we get the judgment or until we withdraw the case out.
Okay. So in theory, it's like 1 year from now, if I am in Canada, in theory you will send me an email and say, oh, there is progress on the case. This is possible.
No, they will fix the date for today. For next appointment.
Right.
But on between that time, we will do the process the same time, the same thing.
But at the next appointment, it will still be the same problem because you will not confirm his address. You will not confirm his passport.
The strategy is we have the immigration report when he came in and out. Then they can prove that this man they have the exiting in this world or in Chiang Mai, something like that. And the next step is one that we got that we confirm the same address to go there again.
So I thought we had done this in the past already. I thought we already had a report from immigration. I thought we already had the
No.
So this had to start again after the Supreme Court guideline, I guess. After the new guidelines. So thank you very much for explaining this to me because this is not an explanation I had before.
À-bas-le-ciel.